Welcome back to Go Agile2. So in the last episode, we looked at a very broad introduction on what's it like before Agile and birth of Agile. So today we'll go a little deeper into what this Agile is all about. To begin with, let's once again look at some of the challenges we had earlier in building a new product, because it will nicely lead us into the Agile values. So going back to the earlier product development model, we used to follow a rigid process. The emphasis was more on following the contractual obligations rather than exploring on building what can be a good value or useful product. Anytime if you have to build a world-class product, obviously a lot of flexibility is needed to accommodate so many changes in the way. Then too much importance was given to documentation rather than measuring how well the product is getting developed. If the scope or complexity of the product changes, then that had a direct impact on time and costs. What we are saying is, in the older model, number of changes need to be minimized, and if more changes are considered, then development costs turn out to be way too expensive. Or it could take so long that your competition may come up with a superior product, or this concept itself may get outdated. Bottom line, product delivered will not meet customer expectations, which means a final product delivered that has no or little value. So to address these challenges, in 2001, 17 software experts came together to discuss lightweight methods for software development. So they came up with these 4 values and 12 principles to call it the new Agile Manifesto. The idea is to make the entire software development process more agile, which changed the industry forever. We started looking at this whole process differently. This new Agile Manifesto became so powerful and popular that even in some non-IT industries such as automotive, food, clothing, etc., it's now being adopted. So the 4 values they highlighted were individual interaction over process and tools, working software over documentation. Next is collaboration with customers. Last is responding to change. So in waterfall, a lot of attention was given to process. You remember that, right? With sequential steps as we saw last time. That's very rigid, and making any changes is complicated. No matter how good the process is, there are many ways why a product can fail. More than the process, they started believing that it's a lot easier for few individuals to discuss and find solutions. Moreover, their belief is that innovation doesn't come from process, but happens much faster with free interactions. That's the first Agile value. Next, working software over documentation. Again, in the waterfall model, the specifications, layouts, requirements, test cases are all documented much ahead of the actual building of the product. This approach has some drawbacks, that some features may never be used, some may be outdated, and too much documentation also could delay the projects. So the Agile Manifesto changed the focus from documentation to the actual working software or product itself. If you have to deal with something regularly, let it be the actual product rather than just documentation. This also helps in getting regular feedback and scope for improvement and also to accommodate any changes much easily. So you have something tangible much earlier in the product lifecycle. Next is collaboration with customers. In the waterfall model, you sign the contract, agree to certain terms, then till the end, you don't even discuss much with the customer. Customers are involved only in the beginning of the project and at the end. You can imagine the number of issues. Customer may not like the product when it's fully built, or the competition may have come out with a better product. So focus is only on development based on what is written in contract, but not providing any flexibility to meet the changing needs. The whole point of customer feedback is missing. That's a big difference the Agile Manifesto brought in, which is collaboration with customers takes precedence over contract negotiations. So collaborate more regularly, engage customers in constant discussions, understand what priorities are changing, get the feedback, and so that is what they call collaboration. Last but not the least is responding to change. In spite of all plans, generally nothing ever goes according to a plan. Instead of sticking with something that is not working, it's more effective to make adjustments as the situation changes. So you get more agility to respond to change as needed. Now to follow all these values is not always easy. But when you build that culture and mindset and try to incorporate these into the team's process, it pays off very well. So to summarize, these are the Agile values they came up with. While the items on the right side are important, but we value the items on the left more. So this became the basis for the new approach to software development, the much talked about Agile development. So, coming back to the Agile Manifesto, this is something you'll be hearing again and again. So, get used to the terms Agile Manifesto, Agile Values, Agile Principles. So, basically, the Agile Manifesto consists of 4 values and 12 principles. We covered the values so far, and here are the 12 principles. These are pretty much self-explanatory, but we can review them if needed at a later date. Don't worry that there is a lot of overlap between values and principles. One thing you have to take it for granted is there will be a lot of repetition of topics all throughout Agile, so get used to it. Quickly, the 12 principles are: our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Welcome changing requirements, even late in development cycle. Deliver working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with a preference to the shorter time scale. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Build projects around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversations.
Working software is the primary measure of progress.
Agile process promotes sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, users, they all should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. Again, I'm repeating, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. That's very essential. Meaning, so if we can figure out a way to reduce the waste, that is what they're calling as simplicity. The best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. So don't worry too much right now at this point to really understand each and everything, but we'll keep reviewing them again and again, maybe when we touch on other topics. So with that, we conclude this Go Agile 2. If you want to continue listening to this series, please subscribe, and we'll be back soon with Go Agile 3. Stay safe, wash your hands, and take care. See you.